Hello, and welcome. My name is Episcopo Squirrel, also known as Alchemage. And this evening, I'm going to talk about the cadaver that I met today. For those of you who are unaware, I am currently a student studying integrative medicine at the level of a Bachelor's of Science at the National University of Natural Medicine here in Portland, Oregon. It is the oldest accredited natural medicine school located in the United States. I'm studying to eventually receive my ND, my naturopathic doctorates, in order to be a naturopathic doctor, so that I can open up my own practice. So, I just started class yesterday for the fall term, starting my very first semester towards my bachelor's degree. Today, I had anatomy and physiology lab. I wasn't aware, or really hadn't thought about it, until a few weeks before class started, that I was going to be dissecting a cadaver, a human body. This is a really humbling experience, to say the least. So, there's been a lot of mixed feelings, a lot of excitement for sure, because I'm interested to know what the inside of a human body is like. It's not every day that everyone gets a chance to look on the inside of a human body. But at the same time, it is a human body, and so there is a level of, I don't want to say discomfort, but I guess that's the easiest way to describe it. You know, so anyway. So I go to lecture today, and all that went well, and went to lab, and we met in a classroom first and discussed the syllabus and what we would be doing. The teacher explained that she would be doing most of the dissection, but there would be ample opportunity for us to do hands-on should we so desire, because it's not until you get to your ND studies that it's required that you actually do hands-on dissection. And she explained to us that in the past there was a lot of controversy with human cadavers because I guess there were a lot of cadavers being sent to us from India who were prisoners who were not willing participants to be body donors. But now, OHSU, Oregon Health and Science University, has set up a body donor program to where people can sign up and willingly donate their body to be dissected, knowingly dissected. So there was a bunch of ethical and moral issues going on with that, and there still may be in other parts of the world. I can't really say anything on that. I just know here in Portland, at least, we have the OHSU body donor program that we work with. So, yeah. And so one of the things that she was emphasizing was that we have to treat this body with respect because it is a human. It was a living person at one point. And so one of the key points that she really pressed into us, that was, I think, one of the best points, was that one of the ways that we can honor this individual, we can respect this individual the most, is by learning as much as we can from their body. And I found that to be really beautiful. This individual has donated their body so that I can learn, so that I can have the knowledge necessary to be able to further understand the body. That's beautiful and amazing, and I am beyond grateful that this individual exists, excuse me. Their essence may not be around, but their body still is. And from this body, I plan to learn as much as I can. And so, up to this point, you know, the whole idea of dissecting a cadaver was just that. It was just an idea. It wasn't until my professor said, all right, well, let's go meet the cadaver. At that point, there was this shift in my consciousness. I went from being this everyday person to a physician. I stepped out of being so emotionally vulnerable and influenced by my surroundings to being more objective. And there was this interesting form of compassion that began to develop. A new form of respect, almost. And it was a very new feeling for me. I didn't really know how to articulate it. I was talking to a couple people in the natural medicine Discord, and at River Flows mentioned that it's that respect for something greater than us. And it was at that moment that I realized that it's that same respect and love that I give to the animals, to the plants, to the trees, to things that can't necessarily verbalize or show their compassion and respect back to me. And yet I still give deep compassion and deep respect to these things. And so I had this newfound respect for humans, for this human before me, even. Or not, I haven't even met the person at this point, just feeling that as I'm coming up to the lab. And so as we go in the lab, and she opens up the container, he's covered, well, he's in a black body bag, and she unzips it, and he's covered in a white cloth, and she says, one of the most humanizing things of this process is to look at the face. And so she uncovers the cadaver to about the shoulders, and it's an old elderly man who had died from lung cancer. And leading up to this moment, there was a bunch of mixed feelings, and just not knowing what was going to happen. And as she took the cover off, that all just faded away, and I was very humbled as I was brought before this human. It's almost as if my mind thought there was going to be some kind of beast beneath this cloth, but it was just a human. And so we began to examine the body, and try and learn what we could about this individual's life just by looking at his body. You know, we found some things like a scar on his abdomen, which was typical of having a hernia replaced. So possibly when we cut him open, we'll find that he had a hernia fixed. And we noticed atrophy in his legs, and so, you know, we're going to see smaller muscles in his legs, and perhaps because he had lung cancer, perhaps he lost motility in the end of his years and was in a wheelchair, and so couldn't really walk. So his legs were atrophied, but his upper body wasn't there wasn't so much atrophy, or loss of muscle mass, I should say. So, you know, it was really humbling, and I got to put on gloves and feel the body, and it was like touching a human. Obviously, you know, it was different. It was cold and a little bit more stiff, but the skin was definitely still skin, and muscle still muscle. And looking into its eyes, you could see that it was lifeless. And there was just something to the body that was missing. And I don't know, it's to me, it was almost an experience that proves the existence, not necessarily proves the existence, but was an experience to me that shows that there is some sort of greater thing to us. Because when I look at a living person, they have this essence to them, something that animates them. And when I look at a dead body, I've seen several from funerals, but this is the first time that I've been this close and touching and really been there, present with a dead body. And just looking at these dead bodies, there's something missing, that it doesn't have that animating life force to it. So it's really beautiful. This whole experience that I had was amazing, and I'm really excited to be here in this path of learning to become a naturopathic doctor. Yeah, it's amazing. I plan on doing an update on what's going on with NUNM here shortly, but I really wanted to talk about this today, or this evening, I guess I should say. I'm about to head to bed, and I hope that you all have a wonderful evening or day wherever you are.